when it comes to verses.
Yeah.
Chris Brown, Usher verses.
Yep.
You know, would you have done or would you do something like a verses?
Yeah, man, me and Chris will kill the world if we ever did something together like that. I'm not saying it's verses, but
Right.
I'm gonna just say this. If that ever happens, it'll be one of the biggest things that anybody has ever experienced in entertainment, in celebration of two people who love each other, because I love Chris. I don't like him. I don't like his music. I love his music. I love him. He's my little brother, and he's always been there for me, and I've always been there with him. Through hard ups and down times, I've been there with him. And, you know, for us to be able to celebrate what we do together, man, that'll be crazy.
Chris Brown and Usher announced that they going on tour.
Hey!
Yes. Okay.
Well, we knew that because Ice told us.
Ice told us.
He told us off air though. He ain't announced it. So shout out to Ice for being ahead of the story.
That's big.
I'll be there.
I think that's gonna break all box office tour records. That's gonna be like big.
But can you do more than what he already did in numbers?
Who? Chris?
Yeah, he sold out.
Bring Usher with you.
He sold out stadiums. What more could you do?
They's gonna charge more.
You can add shows.
Yeah.
You can add more money.
You can add shows.
You can add more.
And you can add seats. So
Yeah.
it's
And
the way
Chris
you can play
is
with
a
it.
show. Like Chris is dancing.
Yeah, it's gonna generate more revenue. They gonna
No, you
double
can
the
add
ticket
three.
price. It's gonna be like Beyonce prices.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a great show though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think he's gonna show Usher up on a different level.
Oh.
Do you think that he will intend to do that?
No.
It'll just happen.
I think it's just gonna be organic. I think it's gonna be organic. Either that, or
If
he
it
gonna,
cross your mind, it cross his.
or he gonna have to dumb down the show.
If you want to talk about pop music, I'll tell you it's Chris Brown. I don't have a problem
But
saying that.
just because someone paved the way doesn't mean that the person they paved the way for can't be better than them.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right on that. That's why I would say Usher is better than a lot of the older generation R&B acts. But if I'm talking about a pure R&B record, I'm not saying the little pop joints.
Right,
a
so
pure
like
R&B track.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, like I'm not putting Chris Brown over a majority of these R&B acts. If you want to talk about pop, overall entertainment, Chris Brown, yeah. But you saying, like, not you, but the conversation last time, like you saying Chris Brown is better than Usher, absolutely not. That's damn near blasphemy.
Blasphemy? Are you going too far? Is it blasphemy, bro?
I'd say it again.
I think it just depends on who you ask. Even like you heard one person say Chris. We was talking about it. A couple people said Chris. You said Usher. Like I feel like it just depends on who you ask one, and then two is just like the demographic. That's it.
So my next question would be to this. Okay.
There is a competition between you and Usher. Usher was up here. He basically said that he's Michael Jordan to you with regard to dancing.
Usher's Usher, man. You know, like me and Usher, like our relationship has grown. When everybody does the comparisons, like who could win in the dance battle, I'm fully confident in my ability.
Actually, I didn't make myself Michael. He made me Michael. Actually,
No offense, Usher, you my bro, man. But my legs a little fresher. If you make the Jordan reference, then I would have to just say I'm Iverson when Iverson crossed Jordan. Oh!
Usher walks that R&B. Like he is R&B. Yeah. You know, he's smooth and it's not an act. You know what I'm saying? Brown, that's my dog. Brown edgy. He more of a, bro more of a rapper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He lived like one.
Right.
If you can ask him, he'll tell you I want to rap before I can sing.
Right.
Like that's the difference between them. But all in all, just two talented guys, two GOATs. And you know, I would say, you know, it's like the 1A and 1A.
Right.
A tour like this doesn't happen often. Two of the biggest names in modern R&B, Chris Brown and Usher, joining forces for a full stadium run should have been an instant celebration. On paper, it's perfect. A historic lineup, massive venues, nostalgia, hits that defined entire generations. But instead of pure excitement, the internet did something unexpected. It turned on the tour. Because the moment ticket prices dropped, the conversation completely changed. People weren't talking about the music anymore, they were talking about survival and whether they could even afford to be in the building. And what started as hype quickly turned into full-blown chaos. But the real reason behind it goes way deeper than just two artists. When the tour was first announced, the reaction was instant. Fans saw it as a once-in-a-lifetime moment. Two stadium-level performers, both with decades of hits, sharing one stage across more than 30 dates. The energy online was unreal. Clips, edits, throwback performances, predictions of sold-out shows within minutes. Because let's be honest, this isn't a small arena tour. This is stadium territory, and in today's music industry, only a handful of artists can truly pull that off consistently. So naturally, expectations were sky high. People weren't even questioning if it would sell out. They were asking how fast it would sell out. But that confidence didn't last long, because right before the excitement could fully settle, the pre-sale dropped. And that's when everything started shifting. At first, fans were just trying to get in. Queues opened, pages loaded, waiting rooms filled instantly. Then the numbers appeared, and that's where the mood shifted. Some cities had relatively manageable pricing, but others, completely different story. Tickets climbing into the high hundreds, floor seats pushing into 4 digits, and VIP packages reaching levels that made people pause in disbelief. For a lot of fans, it wasn't just expensive, it felt unreachable. And that's when comparisons started flooding in. Rent, bills, groceries, inflation. Suddenly, a concert ticket wasn't just entertainment anymore, it felt like a financial decision. And online, people started asking the same question over and over. How is this even possible? But what most fans didn't realize is that this isn't just about Chris Brown or Usher. There's a much bigger system controlling the numbers behind the screen, and that system is where things start to get uncomfortable. Whenever ticket prices explode like this, one name always enters the conversation: Ticketmaster, and behind it, its parent company, Live Nation. For years, fans have been saying the same thing. Something about the system doesn't feel fair. Hidden fees, dynamic pricing, platinum seats that change value in real time, tickets that jump in price depending on demand within minutes. And this time, the frustration came back even stronger. Because just as this tour was launching, public attention around ticketing companies was already building again. There have been ongoing legal challenges and federal scrutiny around how tickets are priced, sold, and distributed, especially in high-demand events where prices seem to spike instantly. The core accusation has always been the same, that the system doesn't just respond to demand, it amplifies it. And whether that's fully proven or still being debated, one thing is clear: fans feel like they're losing control the moment tickets go live. And that feeling only gets worse when the checkout process begins, because that's where the real chaos starts. As soon as the pre-sale opened, social media filled up with the same type of stories. People waiting for hours, pages freezing at checkout, payments getting declined out of nowhere, tickets disappearing the second they were added to cart. And the most frustrating part? There was no clear answer. Some fans said their bank blocked the transaction. Others said the website crashed mid-purchase. Some even switched devices, browsers, or accounts just to try again. And while all of that was happening, time was running out. Because in these systems, even a few seconds can mean losing everything. It created a strange environment where buying a concert ticket didn't feel like a simple transaction anymore. It felt like competition, and not a normal one. More like whoever refreshes faster wins. But that pressure didn't stay private. It spilled online almost instantly. Once fans started realizing how difficult it was to secure tickets, social media took over the conversation, and the tone completely changed. What was supposed to be excitement turned into a mix of frustration, humor, and disbelief. People started joking that you needed perfect timing and a financial plan just to get through checkout. Others compared it to a survival game where tickets vanish in seconds. Some fans straight up said they'd rather watch clips online than go through the stress again. And underneath the jokes, there was something more serious. A growing feeling that concerts are becoming less accessible. Not because people don't love the artists, but because the experience itself is starting to feel exclusive. And that shift is what's making this tour conversation different from others. Because now it's not just about one event, it's about the direction live entertainment is heading. And that leads into a bigger question people can't stop asking. Over the last few years, there's been a noticeable pattern that's hard to ignore if you've been paying attention to the music industry at all. Major tours aren't just selling out anymore, they're selling out almost instantly. Sometimes within minutes, sometimes within seconds. And when they don't, it's not because demand is low, it's because the system itself can't even handle the traffic. At the same time, ticket prices have been climbing across almost every genre. It doesn't matter if it's hip-hop, pop, or R&B. The entry point to live music is getting higher, and fans are starting to feel that shift in real time. Then you've got VIP packages becoming more common than standard seats in some cases. What used to be an optional upgrade now feels like it's built into the structure of how tours are designed. Early entry, exclusive merch, premium sections, everything is segmented and every layer comes with a different price tag. And now stadium shows have officially become the new standard for top-tier artists. Smaller venues are still there, but the biggest names in the industry aren't just performing in arenas anymore. They're going straight to stadiums, city after city, on a scale that used to be reserved for the absolute biggest legends in music. On one hand, that shift says a lot about power and influence. It shows how artists like Chris Brown and Usher can still command massive crowds decades into their careers. Not every artist can do that. In fact, very few can consistently fill stadiums across multiple cities like this. It's a rare level of staying power in an industry that changes fast. But on the other hand, that success creates something else underneath it, a growing gap. Because not every fan can keep up with that level of pricing, and that's where things start to get uncomfortable for a lot of people. It's not about not wanting to support the artists, it's about whether attending live shows is becoming financially realistic for the average fan. And that's exactly where the debate starts to split in two directions. Some people argue this is just supply and demand at scale. More demand, bigger venues, higher prices, simple economics. In their eyes, it's just the natural evolution of the industry adapting to global demand and streaming era popularity. But others see it very differently. They argue it's slowly turning concerts into something that only a certain portion of fans can regularly experience. Not because they don't love the music, but because the barrier to entry keeps rising with every major tour announcement. And depending on who you ask, you'll get completely different interpretations of what's happening. Some call it evolution, proof that live music has never been more valuable. Others call it exclusion, a system where access is slowly narrowing over time. But either way, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. The frustration online isn't random anymore. It's consistent, and it's growing. People are paying attention now more than ever, and every new tour announcement just adds more fuel to the conversation. Because at the center of all this is still the same moment everyone was excited for in the beginning. A massive collaboration between two of the biggest R&B names of all time. Chris Brown and Usher are still about to step onto stadium stages in front of thousands of fans. But now, instead of just being about music, the conversation around them has become something much bigger than the tour itself. The demand is real, the hype is real, and the cultural moment is still huge. But surrounding that moment is a much louder conversation about pricing, about access, about how live entertainment is changing in real time, and whether fans are being priced out of experiences that used to feel normal. Right now, there's no simple answer, no clear resolution, just a lot of frustration and a lot of demand. And maybe the biggest question left is this: are concerts still for everyone? Or are they slowly becoming something else entirely? Because based on what just happened with this tour, the answer might already be unfolding.